In today's YouTube video, guys, we're going to be taking a look at the new top 5 best meta loadouts to use here in Black Ops 6 Season 1. Now, after the Season 1 update, they did change a lot of the weapons with the weapon balancing, so you need to change the weapons that you're using. So if you guys are new and find this video to help you out in any way, make sure that like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and let's get into it. Now, jumping into weapon number 1, guys, we have the Creeksy Assault Rifle. Now, this is by far one of the best weapons in the game right now. I like to call this the better version of the Model L just because it really is. It has a bit of a faster fire rate, kind of the same recoil pattern, kind of feels the same as the Model L, and also hits a tiny bit better than that weapon. And also, it just got banned in the competitive scene, so you already know this weapon is really broken. But we're going to get to my build. We're going to start with the optic here, and we're going to start with the Kepler Microflex for my first attachment. Like I say in my videos, this is the best optic in the game, the easiest optic in the game, but also, like I say in my videos, use what you like, use what you have unlocked. For me, though, we're going to be adding on the Kepler Microflex. Now, for the muzzle here next, we're going to go ahead and throw on the compensator. Also, like I say in my videos, this is the best muzzle in the game. You're getting the most vertical recoil control, the most gun kick control. This is going to cancel all the recoil on the weapon, all the gun kick, so your weapon is going to be very accurate, very smooth. It's going to help you win more gunfights, so go ahead and throw on the best muzzle. Now, we're going to jump over here to the barrel next, and we're going to be adding on the grain twist barrel. Now, using this weapon, I use it majority of all last night, just trying to get some clips with it and everything. I think this weapon really doesn't need a long barrel or the reinforced barrel. I don't think it really needs any more damage range on this weapon. The bull velocity, I think, just makes more sense. This weapon is very effective up into those 42 meters, and the weapon in most of your gunfights anyways, you're only going to get into those 5 to about 30, 35 meters. You're really not going to go up past 40, 45 to those 50 meters unless it's just a rare gunfight. With how maps are designed here, they're not really made for super long range gunfights. So the grain twist barrel on this weapon is just an absolute monster, so go ahead and throw this on for that extra bull velocity. Now, we're going to skip the underbarrel, the magazine, and go to the rear grip here next, and we're going to be adding on the assault grip. Now, again, the sprint to fire speed isn't really the best here in this game still. I know they buffed it a little bit, and with the SMGs getting a buff, you definitely want to be able to shoot faster off a sprint than most of the SMGs, the XM4, and the other good SMGs and assault rifles in the game. So definitely having that assault grip on is going to allow you to shoot faster off a sprint, to be able to outgun those assault rifles, SMGs, shotguns, pistols. You definitely need sprint to fire speed, so we are going to be adding on the assault grip. And then for my final attachment, we are going to the stock, and we're going to be adding on the balanced stock here. We're going to increase our mobility with this weapon, strafing movement speed, hip fire movement speed, it's some aim walking movement speed here, and we will take this weapon into the firing range to show you guys up close, medium range, and if we have to, we could take this weapon to long range, but I'm telling you, up close and medium range is going to be your best friend with this build. Now, for our next weapon here, we have the Tanto 22, which I've said this in many videos talking about this weapon. This is the strongest hitting SMG, and honestly, one of the hardest hitting weapons here in the game here. But for my build, this is also another 5 attachment build, so we're going to start with the optic. I'm really not a huge fan of the iron sights on this weapon, which some people are, some people aren't. I'm one of those people that I'm just not a fan of these iron sights, so I like to have an optic on my weapon. So again, we're going to go ahead and throw on the Kepler Microflex, best optic in the game. That's all you need to know, so we are going to throw this on. The muzzle here next, we're going to be adding on the compensator. Now, not a lot of these guns have this. Now, the weapon doesn't have any recoil, but the weapon has a lot of gun kick. So, I do want to throw on the compensator just because we're going to calm that gun kick down here. But also, if you have any trouble, controlling your shots or anything like that, the compensator is going to help you do that. So, throw on the compensator. It's going to help you be more accurate in your gunfights. The Tanto has some weird gun kicks, so that's definitely going to calm that down, help you be more accurate. So, definitely throw this on. Now, the barrel, we do not need a barrel for this weapon. I mean, I feel like the Tanto, using it more, you don't need a barrel for the Tanto. So what we're going to do next is actually go to the underbarrel here, and we're going to be actually throwing on the vertical foregrip. We're going to get a little bit more horizontal recoil control on this weapon here. So now with this class setup, we're going to have horizontal recoil control, vertical recoil control, and gun kick control. So this weapon isn't going to be moving at all. You're going to have full control of this SMG. You're going to be able to take out LMGs, marksman rifles, good assault rifles in the game, snipers, other SMGs from far range. I mean, the Tanto, really good. Let's have no recoil, have full control of this weapon. Let's make it better. Now the magazine here, we're going to go ahead and throw on the first extended mag. You don't need to run the 50 round drum. We don't want to take away any handling on this weapon. The only thing that the extended mag 1's going to do is just take a bit of reload quickness away. Nothing too crazy. The reload time on this weapon is still pretty good, so we're going to go ahead and throw on the first extended mag. And then going into my final attachment here, we're actually going to go to the stock, and I want to increase the mobility on this weapon, so we're going to be adding on the no stock. It's going to help with some hip fire movement speed, nothing too crazy there. We're going to get some strafing movement speed, which is pretty important, and the movement speed, which is going up by 20%, so we're going to be able to zoom around the map very quickly, just get into a lot of gunfights, get those higher kill games here, and also we will jump into the firing range with this weapon here, and you know, this weapon, not going to move, and the good thing about this weapon, you can take an SMG to 50 meters, which is just absolutely wild. So the Tanto 22, in my opinion, is one of the hardest hitting SMGs and definitely one of the hardest hitting weapons in the game. Now for our third weapon here, we have the GPR 91 assault rifle. Now this weapon is catching a lot of eyes here in season 1. It got a damage buff, so it's really good at long range now, really good up close. And when I go to watch Pro 8s and everything, if I'm editing or something, I'm seeing a lot of pro players using this assault rifle. So this could potentially be the new assault rifle that pro players use in the CDL. But we're going to start with this build here, and I'm going to kind of give you a build you could use in competitive, also in public matches. You can go crazy either or, and it's going to have no recoil, good time to kill at long range. But we are going to start with the optic here, and I'm going to be throwing on the Kepler Microflex again. I mean, when I tell y'all this is the best and easiest optic to use, I mean that. So we are going to throw this on for our first attachment. Again, if you don't have it unlocked, no worries, use what you have unlocked or add on your favorite optic here, but that for me is the Kepler Microflex. For the muzzle here next, we're going to be adding on the compensator. This is the best muzzle in the game. You actually get more vertical recoil control on this weapon with the compensator, and you're also getting a lot of gun kick control. So this weapon doesn't really have much recoil anyways, or gun kick, so we're just going to have full control of this weapon. Isn't going to move at all, so we're just going to go ahead and abuse the compensator here with this weapon. Now for the barrel here next, we are going to be adding on the reinforced barrel. Now, the weapon's effective damage range isn't really the best on here, so we are going to increase that a bit here. So we're going to bring it up to about 23 meters where it's going to be super effective. And, you know, most of your gunfights anyways, you know, with an assault rifle are probably going to be around in those 20 meters anyways, you know, 20 to 30. So adding on the reinforced barrel, it just makes sense to run here. Extra damage range. The weapon did get a damage buff, so this weapon's going to be super filthy at longer ranges. And also, we are getting that faster bullet velocity here by that 20%, so our bullets are traveling really quick here. But with the reinforced barrel, the damage buff on this weapon, it's gonna have a great time to kill out longer ranges. Now we're gonna skip the underbarrel, the magazine, and we're gonna jump in here into the rear grip, and we're gonna be throwing on the commando grip. Now this is gonna give us some aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed time. Now I will say this assault rifle has great handling and great mobility, but I will say Black Ops 6, it really is important that you have high handling on your weapons. You need fast sprint to fire speed times, you need fast aim down sight speed times, so the commando grip is going to help out a ton and make this weapon's handling even better here. So we're gonna throw this on. We're gonna be more aggressive in our gunfights, aiming down sights lightning quick, shooting faster off a sprint, winning those gunfights, and moving on. Now with the mobility on this weapon being really fine and everything, I'm not going to worry about that. So what we're going to do for my final attachment here is going to the fire mods, and we're going to be adding on the NATO over pressured rounds to give us a faster bullet velocity, which we are getting a 20% extra bullet velocity here on our weapon. So our bullets, as soon as we fire our weapon, is instantly going to hit our target, and we will take this weapon into the firing range just to show you guys this is one of the easiest weapons to use, and you can take this weapon to longer ranges, and the bullets are just instantly hitting our targets, which is super nice. The GPR is definitely going to be one of the best weapons here in Season 1. Now, for weapon number 4, guys, we have the SOG, which is one of the fastest killing weapons here in Black Ops 6. One of the brand new guns also. We have this weapon, Dark Matter, Maxis gun out, and also with this weapon, with it being one of the best guns in the game right now, I have you an 8 attachment build here, so this thing is going to be super filthy. But we're going to start with the muzzle here. Of course, we are going to be adding on the compensator. This weapon having a fast fire and everything is going to have a lot of kick to it, so we do want to calm that down, and also we want to give you better vertical recoil control here. So we're going to be throwing on the compensator. Like I say, it's the best muzzle in the game, so of course we're going to throw it on. Now for the barrel here next, I highly suggest that you run the reinforced barrel. Now we do need to increase the damage range on this SMG. Up close, amazing. Medium to long range, not the best. So we definitely want to add on a barrel that's giving us damage range here, but we also can add a barrel on that gives us bullet velocity. So the reinforced barrel is going to be my go-to on this SMG. Better damage range, better bullet velocity, our bullets are traveling faster, further, hitting harder to give us a faster time to kill on this SMG at longer ranges. So definitely have this on, very important. Now for the underbarrel next, we're going to go ahead and throw on the vertical foregrip. The horizontal recoil isn't too bad on this weapon, but I do suggest that you throw on the vertical foregrip because it's going to make the weapon even easier to use with no recoil. This weapon's going to be really good in those up close medium ranges now with us having horizontal recoil control, vertical recoil control, and now gun kick control with this weapon here. So definitely add on the vertical foregrip. Now we're jumping into the magazine here, and we're going to be adding on the first extended mag. Now this weapon, we all know, does have a crazy fast fire rate, so we do need a larger mag on this weapon so we're not flying through ammunition all the time, reloading in the middle of those gunfights, after a gunfight, after we get a kill or two. So adding on the first extended mag is going to allow you to have 45 bullets in one mag here, so you don't have to reload all the time. You're going to be able to mow people down, kill about 4, 5, 6 people at a time. The extended mag, I think, is a must-have attachment. There's always that must-have attachment on a certain gun. The SOG definitely needs a larger mag, which I highly suggest that you add on the first extended mag. Now, for the rear grip, we're going to be adding on the commando grip once again. This can help with aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. Now, the handling on this weapon is really good, so we don't need to go too crazy with the handling here, but we are going to increase our aim down sight speed time. We're going to increase our sprint to fire speed time on this weapon, so in those gunfights, we're just aiming down sights quick, shooting faster off a sprint, having that aggressive play style, so of course, add on the commando grip. Now for the stock here, I'm going to go ahead and add on the light stock. Now the last time that I talked about this SMG, a lot of people were saying you should run the balanced stock. Now the balanced stock, don't get me wrong, is a really good attachment here if you want some aim walking movement speed and some strafing movement speed. But with this SMG already having some high mobility on this weapon already, we don't need any more aim walking movement speed, strafing movement speed, or anything like that. I mainly want to work on just movement speed on this weapon, but with the light stock, we are getting that strafing movement speed anyway. So in our gunfights, we can move left and right, stray faster, so we can dodge those bullets. And mainly, we're just getting that 20% increase in our movement speed. So we're moving really quick around the map, getting into people's faces, being annoying, and just getting around the map very quickly, which is the main thing. So go ahead and throw on the light stock. Now, if you want to run a laser, you can. Or if you want to run an optic, I like the iron sights on this weapon, and the only laser that I really just recommend on this weapon is the steady laser, just in case you do need to hip fire. These other ones, I mean, they don't hurt the weapon, but I don't really hip fire much, so you know, the fast motion laser really isn't going to make sense for me to run, and I just think the steady lame laser is going to be the only one that I run here. So again, if you want to run a laser, I do suggest that you run this, but you know, this build could be an 8 attachment or a 7 attachment build, so it's really on what you want to run. But if you are running a laser, don't on the steady aim laser. And then getting into my final attachment, we are going to the fire mods, and we're going to be adding on the recoil springs here to help with a little bit more recoil control, gun kick control on this weapon. So with this attachment, we're going to get a 10% increase in our gun kick control, horizontal and vertical recoil control also. So this weapon isn't going to move here, and we're going to take this weapon to the firing range, and I mean, this weapon isn't moving, and I mean, we're not going to take our gunfights to 50 meters with this weapon. So in those up close and medium ranges, this is all you need, and this weapon is just an absolute monster. And then getting to our final weapon in today's video, guys, we have the compact 92 SMG. Now this weapon did get a small like headshot damage range buff. So this weapon, it didn't get a damage range buff, but the headshot multiplier has increased at longer ranges. So this weapon is going to be, you know, okay at those longer ranges, you know, medium range mainly. Up close, all you need to know, this weapon deletes people very quickly, and I'm gonna give you a build that just has no recoil whatsoever. So we're gonna start with this build, and once again here, we're gonna go ahead and throw on the compensator. This weapon has a lot of fire rate, so we definitely need to calm that down. We have a lot of vertical recoil as well, so we want to calm that down also. So the compensator is going to be our best friend with this weapon here. We're gonna throw it on for our first attachment. Now for the barrel here next, we're going to be adding on the reinforced barrel. Now this can help with bull velocity and damage range. Now, like I just said, this weapon is really good up close and not really the best at those longer ranges. So we definitely want to throw on the reinforced barrel to increase our damage range to allow us to take our gunfights into those medium ranges. We're not going to be taking our weapons into those super long ranges like, 40 to 50 meters. Up close, 5 meters to about 25 meters. This is where it's going to be perfect at. So definitely having this on is going to allow us to have a faster time to kill. Our bullets are traveling further, bullets are traveling faster, so we definitely want to add this on for our second attachment. Now for the underbarrel here, we're definitely going to be throwing on the vertical foregrip once again here. Now, definitely having this on is going to help out more with the recoil control, and also with this attachment, we are getting a very, very small amount of gun kick control as well. So with this weapon now, we have vertical and horizontal recoil control and gun kick control. So this weapon isn't going to be moving a little bit. It might move a little bit. You just got to put some recoil control into it behind you and your thumbs. Nothing too crazy, but having the vertical foregrip on is going to help out a lot with that recoil control. Now the magazine, we're going to be adding on the first extended mag. This is going to help with a larger mag. The good thing about this, we're not losing any reload quickness, aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, or anything like that. This is another weapon that just has to have a larger mag. Must have attachment here, the first extended mag. You don't want to run anything any larger than the 40 round mag just because you don't need to. So throw this on. And then for my final attachment, we are going to the rear grip, and we're going to be throwing on the CQB grip. I just want to increase our sprint to fire speed on this weapon. The handling's already good, the aim down sight speed's good, the mobility's good, so the only thing that we need to work on is the sprint to fire speed so we can shoot faster off a dive, a slide, and a run. So we're going to add on the CQ grip for our final attachment, and we're going to take this weapon into the firing range just to show you guys. This weapon has no recoil, and it's, if you hit your shots at those medium ranges, it can be good, but the main thing is you're going to delete people very quickly with this weapon. Now, a lot of people ask me to put these in the top 5, and there's certain perks that you need to run here, lethal and tacticals and secondaries, and it also just depends on if you're running an 8 attachment build or a 5 attachment build. Now, I'm going to be honest, a 5 attachment build is what I usually use the most here, and always my secondary is the Greekova. This is the best pistol in the game, the best secondary. Pocket SMG. This build I have is a no recoil build you guys will love, so go ahead and copy it down. I'm always running the knife. I really don't like the baseball bat just because it takes 2 hits instead of 1. They both have the same movement speed and everything, so it doesn't really matter what you use. Now my lethal and tactical, I like to run the stem shot. You get an unlimited amount of these. I think they're important to have in core just because sometimes the health regen can be a little bit slow. Blast traps, super broken, easily 1 hits. With flak jacket, no flak jacket, doesn't matter, it's always a 1 hit. Field upgrade is War Cry. I like using this just because I can pop them, faster health regen, faster movement speed just for like 30 seconds to 40 seconds. Pretty crazy. I like the field upgrade. Now my perks, I like to use Flak Jacket, Fast Hands, and Double Time, and I like to use Perk Greed for a 5 attachment build on my weapons, and I use Scavenger as my Perk Greed. But if you're gonna use an 8 attachment build, so if we're throwing on Gunfighter, I like to use Flak Jacket, Fast Hands, and Double Time, or I take off Flak Jacket and I run Scavenger. So it's really on what you want to run here. But these are the top 5 builds right now here in Black Ops 6. I do highly suggest that you copy them down. If you want to let me know in the comments if you drop any high kill games, or if you want to let me know what your favorite loadout is. But guys, thanks so much for watching. You guys stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.